According to him, go confidently in the direction of your dreams. Live the life you've imagined. Ladies and gentlemen, jump out of your chairs and give a roaring Southeast Asia welcome to our one and only RyanNapierski.
Hello, New Skin. Oh, thank you. What is this? A present. Hello, New Skin. How are you? Oh, that's not loud enough. Hello, New Skin. How are you? Great. Are you having a wonderful New Skin live event? Fantastic. What did you think of today's speaker, Nick? Pretty amazing, right? It always amazes me to hear inspiring stories. But his story was not much different from a lot of you out there. How many of you have traveled long distance to be here today? Yeah? Have you all traveled here to be here? Okay, let me check and see. Who do we have here from Vietnam? Vietnam. Wow. Very impressive. What about from Thailand? Thailand, very good. Let me think. What about the Philippines? Wow. Wow, that's good, good. That sounds like a rock concert. Very good. Let me think. How about Malaysia? Wow. How about Indonesia? Wow, very good. Okay, last but not least, how about Singapore? Very good. You know, I spend so much of my life on an airplane these days. In fact, I just flew in this morning because my airplane was canceled at 3 a.m. in Los Angeles. Can you believe that? They canceled my flight. I told them, I said, no, I have several friends that I have to go visit over in Singapore. I have to be there. The lady, the flight attendant, she asked me, she said, well, how many friends do you have to visit? I said, I think I have about 7,000 friends that we have to visit, right? I wouldn't have missed this opportunity. I'm so excited to be here with you today. You know, New Skin Southeast Asia is one of our most promising markets in all of the world. You here are filled with inspiration, with entrepreneurship, and with a desire to help other people improve lives. Is that true? That is the power of New Skin. I wanted to share with you today a message from corporate. Is that okay? I hope my slides work. Let me see, where are my slides? First of all, thank you for having me. I was supposed to be here yesterday, but Vicki adjusted the schedule so I could speak with you today. This is such a special place for us. New Skin is here in this country, in these countries, to improve lives. And you are the people who do that for us. Without New Skin partners like you, nothing could be done by New Skin at corporate. So I want to thank you all for you being here and for you being you. Now I have a question for you to ask you. So everyone wants to be successful. Is that true? Yes. Everyone wants to be successful. If you walk up to your taxi driver or to anyone on the street and you ask them, do you want to be successful? What are they going to say? They're going to say yes. So let me ask you, what makes you different? What makes you different from everyone else who wants success? There's one very important thing that you're doing now that most people don't ever do in order to achieve success. You know what that is? Take action. I heard it up here. You are sitting here today because you not only want success, but you're actually willing to go out and do something about it. Is that true? Yes. And I promise you, just what Nick said earlier today, that failure only happens when we stop trying. Is that true? When we stop trying, we become failures. But as long as we continue to try, as long as we continue to seek out our goals, our dreams, we will never be failures. Is that true? The beauty of the Nu Skin business is that success happens as you help others to succeed. In fact, that is the reason that I'm here with Nu Skin. I love the mission of this company. In fact, how many of you can recite the mission with me? Go ahead and stand up. I want to hear everyone recite the mission of Nu Skin Enterprises. If you know it, stand up. Okay. Should we do it in English? Because that's the only language I can do it in. I think I learned it in Japanese once, but I don't remember it. Okay. Who wants to start it? Let's go together. Okay, Nu Skin. We will be a force for good throughout the world by empowering people to improve lives with rewarding business opportunities, innovative products, and an enriching and uplifting culture. Give yourselves a hand. Awesome. I am so impressed. I'm actually so impressed. Go ahead and sit down. You can relax. I'm so impressed that you can recite that in English, and many of you speak that as a second language to you. But guys, this is the core of what Nu Skin is. When I first joined the company, I was very, very young. I was 21 years old, and I was invited because we were going to open the Korea market. And at that time, I had just returned from Korea, from living there. I spoke the language, and so I was asked to come help open our Korean market. This was back in 1995-ish. And I remember going to my first convention. I was a business school student, and I had learned about all of these successful companies: General Electric, General Motors, Ford, Microsoft, Amazing Enterprises. And I was so excited because I had the opportunity to go and to listen to the founders of an amazing international company called Nu Skin. Now, as a young student, I had never before listened to a CEO give a talk, and so I was excited to hear that. And I remembered sitting down and listening to what our CEO at the time, Blake Roney, had to share. And I have to admit, after listening to him for about 15 minutes, I was quite shocked because I didn't think that CEOs talked about the things that Blake talked about. So the next up after Blake spoke was Steve Lund, who is here today as well. And as I listened to Steve talk, I was excited because Steve was a lawyer. And I was pretty sure I knew what law was, and so I was excited to listen to Steve talk about business. And then Steve started to speak. And the things that Steve spoke about didn't sound like a CEO either. Steve started talking about being a force for good. Blake had talked about don't recruit bad people. Then I waited. Finally, the third speaker got up. Who was it? Sandy Tillotson. Now, I knew Sandy because Sandy at one point was in the United States known as one of the top female business leaders of all time. And I was so excited because as a young business student, I couldn't wait to hear what one of these top business leaders would talk about. Sandy gets up and she starts to talk about Nu Skin. And what does Sandy talk about? She talks about the heart. She talked about the people, about the importance of connecting people together and what that does for society. Well, as a young business student listening to these three business leaders, I left my first Nu Skin convention deciding that this was no ordinary company, that there was something special about Nu Skin. And you know what? Every day over the last 22 years that I've gone to work at Nu Skin, I've realized that there is something special about Nu Skin. Nu Skin is a company that is entirely about helping other people to be successful. The whole purpose of Nu Skin Enterprises and the entire purpose that Nick talked about earlier today, the purpose of a fulfilling life, is helping other people to succeed. But the difference between other companies and Nu Skin is that we succeed in this business only by doing what? Only by helping others to succeed. If we succeed in spite of those in our organizations, it's not success, and it's not sustainable success. In Nu Skin, we succeed only when we help others to succeed. And in fact, what we've learned from our team elites who are here in the audience today, we will succeed to a much greater degree as we focus on others' success, not on our own. And I believe that is the core, truthful tenet of existence in Nu Skin Enterprises. That as long as we continue to focus on helping others to be successful, Nu Skin Enterprises will achieve every goal and every ambition that we ever can aspire to have. Does that make sense? So I want to thank you and I want to congratulate you for choosing the right company, the right business partner to invest with long term, because you know that your purpose will ever be at the center of what we do. Okay, I want to talk with you today a little bit about what we're talking about at Nu Skin Enterprises and bring you into our executive committee meetings and our management committee meetings. You know, I became the president about a year or so ago with Rich Wood as our CEO, Steve Lund as our chairman, and we set out to establish or to evaluate what is it that we want to accomplish in this next era of growth. You see, Nu Skin has been around for 35 years. Is a very strong, established company. We do business in nearly 50 countries. We're on the New York Stock Exchange. We have grown into a multi-billion-dollar business. What more could we offer, could Rich and could I offer to Nu Skin? What more could our management team together, Vicki, David, all of our managers around the world, what could we do in this next era of growth? And we started to think about what it is that we want to achieve. We already have a very large ambition. And we started to think about this concept called moonshot thinking. How many of you have heard the term moonshot before? Do you know the term? Oh, wow. Okay, not many hands have gone up. Let me just tell you a little bit about what moonshot thinking is. Okay, so go back in time, back to the 1950s. The United States and Russia USSR were locked in what was called the Cold War. Do you remember that time? Did you ever see the movie Rocky? Where Rocky fought it looked like Tyler Whitehead. This big guy, Rocky, ends up battling against a USSR Russian soldier. Well, at that time, back in the 50s, there was a very big Cold War going on between two giant world powers. And each of these world powers were trying to prove their superiority. And they were doing things that were crazy. They had decided, because there was no more space on the earth to conquer, that they would prove their dominance by going to space. And so there became a space war to go on between the USSR and the United States of who could send the first man to space. Well, the US was able to send a dog up to space, but the dog didn't return. The Russians were able to put a man into space and actually bring that person back. At the time, President John F. Kennedy was the president of the United States. And at the time, he felt it was so critical for the United States to do something amazing, something that the world would stop and stare, would stop and look at, that he decided to, in one moment, to put a man on the moon. And not just put them on the moon, but to bring them back safely. And at that time, he gave a speech, and he talked about the moonshot. He talked about the need for people, for mankind, for humankind, to have a goal, to have a vision that is so much greater than what we believe we can achieve, that it's something that inspires us to do great things. And at that time, this idea, or this moonshot thinking, became the propelling force of commerce and of civilization and society in the United States to beat and to become and to put a man on the moon. Now, fast forward over 50, 60 years, here we are today. And we look at the same needs. Humankind needs an inspirational goal. They need the ability to look at something much bigger. And that's what we call moonshot thinking. Now, at New Skin Enterprises, we started to ask the question, what is our moonshot? We've already accomplished so much. What more could we do? And the more we talked about this, the more that we realized that New Skin Enterprises, as successful as we've become to date, we have not lived up to our potential. That we have not yet realized the goals that we've set for ourselves to truly empower the world to improve lives. You see, today, despite the size of our business, we still are only a very small percentage of the population. If we look at all of Southeast Asia today, we are just a fraction of what we can be. Is that true? There's so much more that we have to do. And we set out and we established a vision. And this vision was based upon a movement that is happening in the world today, what we call the platform revolution. How many of you are familiar with companies like WeChat, Tencent, Facebook, Apple, Google, Microsoft? These companies today are very large companies, and they're what are known as platform companies. In fact, do you know that 7 of the top 10 companies today are platform companies? Now, what is a platform? A platform simply is a business model that connects buyers and sellers together that facilitates transactions or commerce. Today, we look at our business and we evaluate it and we recognize that there was this major trend in platforms occurring. We also looked and found that there was an emerging trend in the workforce. Let me ask you, how many of you are millennials? Do you know that term, millennial? Basically, if you're younger than a Gen X person, you're a millennial. If you're a millennial, raise your hand. Younger than Gen X means you were born after 1980-ish. 1980, not quite, not me. Do you realize that today, millennials are the largest portion of the workforce in the entire world? Millennials are the largest percentage of the workforce in all of the world. And millennials are quite interesting. In fact, how many of you are raising a millennial? If you're not a millennial, but you're raising a millennial, raise your hand. I have a daughter who's a millennial. Yeah? Are millennials a little bit different than us? Yes. Millennials are inspired. Millennials seek freedom and flexibility. They seek fulfillment and purpose. Millennials are a very unique portion of our workforce today because of what they aspire their lives to become. And these millennials have fueled an entirely new way of working, an entirely new way of achieving income to support your family. This type of work is called the gig economy. Have you heard of the gig economy? The gig economy. Have you heard of companies like Uber, Airbnb? I heard one backstage, Grab. Have you heard of Grab here in Singapore? These are very interesting businesses. In fact, while I was stuck in Los Angeles the last 24 hours, I had the opportunity to use Uber, to use Lyft, to use a company called Bird, another company called Lime, another company called Amazon Flex. I'm telling you, the world is abundant with opportunity today. How different is that from even 20 years ago? Do you realize actually only 10 years ago, only 1 in every 8 people were involved in a gig or an independent contracting opportunity. Only 1 in 8 people were doing something as an independent contractor. Fast forward to just today, we're talking a very short period of time. Now 34%, 3 out of every 10 people are involved in some kind of independent contracting opportunity. Do you know that in the next 3 to 5 years, it's expected that 7 out of 10 people that you meet on the street will be involved in an independent contracting or a gig opportunity. Is that not amazing? 7 out of every 10 people that you bump into today at the store or at the mall or driving your car are going to be independently contracted. Now, is that a large opportunity? Absolutely. It's a large opportunity. It's a large opportunity because people are seeking a different way of working. This platform revolution that's underway provides massive opportunity for Nu Skin to become so much better. So let's talk a little bit more about our vision. As we originally set into this vision, we established it to become the world's leading direct selling company. Now back then, this was almost 10 or so years ago, we felt like that was our ambition, that was our moonshot. If we could become the world's leading direct selling company, we would achieve our goal. But what we've realized with all of this opportunity is that the opportunity is so much bigger than we ever thought. In fact, if you sum up the total direct selling marketplace in the world, it's about $190 billion. Direct selling globally, about 190 people. $190 billion. If you then extrapolate this larger gig economy and this larger social commerce environment, you find the opportunity is actually $4.3 trillion, 22 times bigger than becoming the world's leading direct selling company is to become the world's leading opportunity platform. And that is the vision that we've established because we see the trends in the world today and we know that the opportunity that Nu Skin provides is so much greater and so much bigger than anything we have done to date, that we have set this vision to become that world's leading opportunity platform. If we go forward a little bit, my slides don't seem to be working very well. I'll tell you that the reason we've shifted this opportunity platform vision is to disrupt the traditional direct selling business opportunity. We see, because of the need of the millennial population, because of the emergence of the gig economy, that these two factors coming together will enable us to disrupt a traditional work environment. Does that make sense? Are you still awake? There's the energy. I need you to keep your energy with you, okay? Okay, let's keep going. And if I see you falling asleep, I'm going to ask you to stand up and listen while you stand up. That won't be any fun. So let's keep the energy high. Now I want you to know that at Nu Skin, we have restructured our strategy. We have rebuilt our strategy to apply platform thinking to every aspect of our business model. We call it our growth strategy. Does that make sense? Makes sense, right? What is your growth goal here in Southeast Asia? To become $1 billion, right? To become $1 billion means you need to do things differently, doesn't it? You got to move faster, do more. And as a company, we're here to set up, to structure, to enable you to achieve that goal. We've built this growth strategy around what we call our 3 Ps: platforms, products, and programs. Let me talk briefly about each one. First of all, let's talk about platforms. How many of you have heard of something called social sharing? Have you heard of this? I'm telling you that this idea of social sharing, utilizing social networks to reach more people, to present the opportunity and our products to more people, is the most powerful tool that Nu Skin Enterprises has seen in 35 years of doing business. How do we know this? Because every market that employs social sharing, that utilizes social sharing practices, significantly grows versus markets that don't employ it. Now let me ask you, how many of you would consider yourselves experts of social networks? Raise your hand if you're experts. 1, 2. Yeah, I'm not. Most of the time when we think about this, we think, oh, I'm not an expert. Social sharing is for the millennials. Social sharing is for somebody else. But let me ask you a different question. How many of you have a mobile phone? Raise your hand. I hope if your hand doesn't go up, that means you're asleep. Okay. Everyone has a mobile phone. Now let me ask you this. How many of you text message from your mobile phone? Congratulations, you're all social sharers. You just didn't know it. Every one of you knows how to be a social sharer because you have a mobile phone. Utilizing your mobile phone to connect to more people enables you to reach more and to do more. Now, let me ask it one more time. How many of you are social experts? How many would you consider are social experts? Every hand should go up. Do you know how to dial on your phone? Yes. If you know how to dial, you're a social expert. Let me ask one last time. How many of you are social experts? Raise your hand. Yes. Yes. You have to believe to achieve, right? Believe to achieve. You are now social experts. Congratulations. You're ready to go. That's all you have to do. Now you can employ other aspects of your mobile phone, including Facebook, WeChat, WhatsApp, Line, all of these other platforms. But those are just platforms. Those are tools that enable you to reach more people. The more proficient that you become at utilizing those platforms, the more people you'll be able to connect with. Does that make sense? I want to encourage you. If you don't feel confident as a social sharer, don't worry. All you need to do is pick up your mobile phone. All you need to do is text message a few people every morning, every day. Start connecting with more people than you would before, and you will become very comfortable. Does that make sense? Good. I'll tell you, as you do this, your business will accelerate. As you communicate more, you'll reach more people. You will find greater opportunities than you ever thought you had before. The next P is what we call our product P, enabling products. Now, how many of you are familiar with a new product called, I think it's called LumiSpa? Does that sound familiar? I know you all know what it is because we can't keep enough in stock. We keep selling out. We send you more, you sell that, we sell out again. Do you realize, by the way, congratulations, do you realize that LumiSpa in the fourth quarter last year took 20% of the global cleansing marketplace in the entire world? Do you realize that? 20%. In 3 months' time, you created 20% of the global marketplace. Imagine what will happen when we can actually keep this product in stock. It is an amazing tool. It's a disruptive tool. Not only is it a cleansing device, but it's a treatment device as well. I think Dr. Joe Chang will tell you more about that. We at Nu Skin are focused on creating what we call device platforms, utilizing our proprietary technology, ageLOC Me, Galvanic Spa, LumiSpa, to create platforms that will service consumers' needs better than any other company in the world. By gathering data, by understanding what consumers need and providing unique solutions to the market, we are confident that we will become the world's leading beauty device platform provider globally. As long as you help us do that. Will you help us? Absolutely. So more to come about our platforms on the product side. The third thing I want to talk about, the third P, is around empowering programs. How many of you have heard of something called Velocity? Velocity. It's a pretty amazing innovation. In fact, I was just at a direct selling event a few weeks ago in the United States, and I was approached by several other direct selling companies who are shocked that Nu Skin Enterprises, after 35 years, has been able to recreate a business model or a compensation plan unlike anything in the industry. A compensation structure that's flexible, that's fast, and that's forward. Now, what do we mean by flexible, fast, and forward? Here's what we know about entrepreneurs. How many of you are entrepreneurs in this room? Raise your hand. I hope every hand goes up. The one interesting thing about entrepreneurs is what? You like to do it your way, right? You like to live life on your terms. You like to do things your way. Velocity has been built to be a flexible business model to enable you to build your business how you feel most comfortable building. If you are someone who loves to share the product, you're a sharer. We want you to see greater success through our Velocity business model. If you're someone who is good at building groups and teams of sellers and sharers, we want you to feel and see success with Nu Skin Enterprises. If you are someone who is a leader, who's inspired to motivate large numbers of people, we too want you to see success in our business. In order for Nu Skin to truly become the world's leading opportunity platform, we must have a business model that is flexible enough to enable people to build their business according to your terms. Does that make sense? The plan is also fast. What do I mean by fast? I mean that you can actually be paid daily. You can be paid weekly, or you can be paid monthly. How many of you would like to receive actually daily pay for the activities that you do every day? If that's what you like and that's what you want, then this Velocity plan is for you. If you choose to continue to build the traditional way, that's okay. Velocity enables you, and that's the flexible and forward component of that. We want you to know that Nu Skin Enterprises, we have always constituted ourselves as being an innovative company. We will continue to innovate on this platform. What I'm most excited about Velocity is that we've now rolled it out in many of our markets, from the Pacific to then Taiwan to then the United States or North America, and then this very month we've rolled it out in Southeast Asia and Japan. In every single market that we have rolled this plan out to, we have seen significant intake. Make sense? How many of you are excited about Velocity? I believe with Velocity, you are going to be, as you learn it, and as you learn how to recruit with it, you are going to see far more people joining your business than ever before. World's leading opportunity platform. We want, 5 years from now, the entire world to know who Nu Skin is. We want the entire world to understand that Nu Skin is the greatest gig and more. You see, most gigs can offer maybe freedom and flexibility by driving around in a car, but they don't offer the fulfillment that you can acquire through a Nu Skin Enterprises business that you're building. Bringing people together for a common cause is what life's pursuit is all about. And the opportunity platform that we're building will welcome every kind of entrepreneur around the world to achieve success with Nu Skin. We're excited about this opportunity, and we want to thank you for being our partners in it. Now, let me say this in closing. Thank you. Let me say this in closing. We acknowledge that you are very, very talented people. Each and every one of you, as I said at the beginning, are here today because you are different, because you're special, because you recognize the need to take action rather than just to dream. You realize that in order to see success, you need to do more than those around you are willing to do, that you need to embrace challenge and rejection and be able to overcome that. Those factors or attributes are what make you who you are. You've chosen this business as a partnership opportunity with Nu Skin. And I want you to know that we are committed to giving you the best opportunity and the best life that you can imagine. This is your life. It's your business, and you need to live and do those things your way. Nu Skin is your partner in that success. I want you to know that we are committed to innovating and continuing to make this opportunity better and better than it was last year and the year before. And we will continue to do so. Do you believe me in that commitment? Yes. Okay, then I have one last question for you. I need you to join me in something. I want you to stand up. Now let's show the New Skin power, okay? Because I think C is going to present after me, and I don't want her to come out to a sleepy crowd. So I need you to wake up, and I'm going to say, New Skin, join the, and you will say, you revolution, okay? Are you ready to do this? Let's make it so loud that the people in Indonesia can hear us from here. Okay? Let's make it so loud that the people back at our corporate office in Provo, Utah can hear. Are you ready? So here I go. Let's practice one time. New Skin, join the... Oh, that was good, but let's go twice as high. New Skin, join the... One more time, louder. New Skin, join the... You Revolution. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Ryan, for your inspiring message. A big hand once again, ladies and gentlemen, for RyanNapierski.